The ocean is a terrifying place full of chaos. From rogue waves to colossal sea creatures, it's easy to see why so many people have a fear of what lurks beneath. And humans have only explored about 5 to 20% of Earth's oceans. Exploring the sea puts you at the mercy of the vast waters. Many horrifying things have happened to those who put themselves at that mercy, but today, we're going to be talking about a particularly unsettling event that happened to a young man named Cameron Robbins. Cameron Robbins was an 18-year-old talented high school baseball player. He had just finished high school and had his whole life ahead of him. To celebrate this milestone, he went on a short sunset cruise in the Bahamas called Blackbeard's Revenge with his fellow classmates. This cruise had a lot of partying and a lot of drinking, which I'm sure these new high school graduates copiously partook in, seeing as the drinking age in the Bahamas is 18. The night was filled with loud music and partying, but all the celebration came to a halt when something terrifying happened. At around 11:30 p.m., some of Cameron's friends dared him to jump off the boat into the water. Like any teenager who is likely inebriated, he decided to be a daredevil and accept the dare. Cameron plummeted into the pitch black water, and moments later, this video was recorded.
This kid jumped off! Oh my God!
Before we continue, I want you to know that Cameron is far from the first person to be in a situation like this. It's happened many times. Your odds of being rescued and surviving if you fall off a ship are only around 25%. And this is under normal conditions. When it happens at night and you are intoxicated, those odds drop to practically zero.
Oh! Oh, bye-bye! Oh, shit! That's it! Hey, the buoy! Yo, this kid's gone, bro!
After this video was recorded, Cameron quickly disappeared from view. I can only imagine the horror he must have felt as the ship continued to sail away, leaving him alone in the dark, cold water. Almost immediately after this happened, the boat was stopped and the Coast Guard was called to search for him. After an exhaustive search of the water, the search was called off after just 2 days. Cameron is not coming back. After this video was posted, it quickly went on to gain millions of views within days, making its way all over Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok. And of course, as these platforms tend to do with these things, they started overanalyzing the video, which has caused some discussion among exactly how Cameron passed. The most popular rumor going around is that Cameron was hunted down by a shark shortly after he jumped. A couple of seconds into the video, you can see some sort of movement in the water not too far from Cameron before the camera quickly pans away. When the camera pans back, we can see Cameron start to turn around and swim in the opposite direction. People are saying that this movement in the water was a shark, and once Cameron saw it, he tried to get away from it. This would explain why he is swimming away from the buoy. Now, with such a short, low-quality video, it's impossible to really tell what is happening. And so far, no one who was on the boat that day has said anything about a shark. It's very possible that when Cameron hit the water, he might have just been disoriented. Once again, remember that it was dark, in the open water, and he was likely intoxicated. This movement in the water might have just been a wave. He might have just not known where the buoy was and went the wrong way. Hell, for all we know, he might have swam away from the boat to try and show off or be funny or something, before realizing that he wasn't able to swim back. There's really no way to know. Still, we have so many videos going around posting their analyses of the video, insisting that this was a shark attack. Some even point to this particular shot of the video, trying to say this is the shark coming up from the water to bite him, which is just absurd since this is obviously just him kicking his leg. The most rational take I've seen on this was from a shark scientist named Christian Parton on the YouTube channel Shark Bites. I highly recommend you watch his full video after this, but to sum up, he makes some good points for both sides of the aisle of the shark versus wave argument. He says that this boat cruised around Nassau Island, which is a popular tourist area, which consequently means the wildlife is a bit more limited around there. In addition, many sharks are timid and easily scared off by loud sounds such as those coming from a moving boat. On the other hand, he mentioned that sharks are protected in the Bahamas, so much that it is actually known as the shark diving capital of the world. Apparently, some of the locals said that when Cameron jumped out of the boat, they weren't too far from Athol Island, which is an area known to have more sharks. There are also rumors that some of these tour boats throw leftover scraps of food overboard. Because of this, a lot of sharks will associate boats with food and follow them around in hopes of getting something. All of this does give credibility to the theory that Cameron may have encountered a shark. Christian concludes that there's a good chance this might have actually been a shark, albeit a small one. Based on the size of the shark compared to the buoy, he estimates it to be around 4 or 5 feet long. His guess is that it could be a Caribbean reef shark. But even if this was a shark, it's not likely that the shark is what took Cameron down. Shark attacks are pretty rare, and like I said before, 75% of people who go overboard on a ship don't end up surviving, and it's usually not because of a shark attack. Cameron might have been pulled away by a current. Someone at the end of the video literally screams, "The current."
Hey, the buoy!
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what exactly did him in at the end. He's gone now. It's terrible that this tragedy happened, and I feel awful for how his family must be feeling. What's even worse is that there are a lot of people out there who do similar things to this and seem to have no idea how dangerous it is.
Dude. Oh. Shh. Gotta swim. Oh.
Luckily, those people survived, but what scares me about those types of videos are how naive kids will react to them. If someone sees the few lucky people who survive a stunt like this, they might be totally oblivious to the countless others who didn't. The last thing we need is for such an irresponsible stunt to become sort of TikTok trend and cause tragedy for many more people. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the flip side. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, consider supporting me on Patreon, where I do weekly live streams, you get access to early content, and access to my Discord server, and over there we just do game nights, movie nights, and just hang out.